I've been going back through some old projects and adding tests to them, and for Ruby, I'm using RSpec. And one of the things that well, I want a couple of things. I want to first of all try to get a measurement on the coverage amount of coverage of tests I had on this project already, and I'm kind of shooting in the dark. I think it's gonna be low. I'm expecting it to be, but it'd be nice if I had a gauge and also exposure to what isn't being covered by tests, so I can write tests to cover more of my app. The other thing too is there's a nice little test coverage badge out there. So in this video, I'm going to go over two things. I'm going to go over installing the simple cov gem for Ruby, which can be used for Rails, it can be used for Sinatra, it can be used for any Ruby application using RSpec, I believe. In this case, I'm going to apply it to a Rails application, and then the little test coverage shield or badge that you can put on your README for GitHub also. So I'm already in my project or document as well, but this is the SimpleCov repo on GitHub, and the instructions or add-ons are like very simple. So first, I've already got a separate group for my test coverages in my gem file. So I'm gonna add those bad boys right here, and then we're adding the gem at the top of going to be the spec helper, and it's going to look like this. And this needs to be at the absolute top of the file. It has to run before anything else does. So in oh, hold on here. Yeah, this looks right. I think this is a project I've written very few tests on. I wrote it with behavior-driven development, and then I'm going back to actually add tests to it now, so it's going to be embarrassingly light, I think. So this will be the absolute top of the file, lines 1 and 2. That's saved. I'm not running this with API endpoints, so I should be able to just pass it over for just a second. So I'm gonna oh, you know what? Just to make sure. Oh, this should be okay. SimpleCov. So if this has worked, it should show the percentage of the test coverage at the very end of the running the test suite. Oh, like 94%. Okay, cool. Well, that was happily more coverage than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so one of the cool things it does though in the it adds a coverage folder right here, and I will need to add this to the gitignore. Because it's just a bunch of files. It's gonna be, but it adds this index.html. So if we open that up, it should show our table of coverages. I'm gonna disappear here for a second while we look at this. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was looking for in this. It's been months since I touched this thing. I want to go back and try to identify gaps really quickly. So it looks like the user and the plant models have some room for improvement in terms of coverage. Otherwise, yeah, this thing prints out nice quick percentage. Okay, so that does that. The badge. Um, it's gonna give us a badge to put on the gem file. Put this in here. Oh, did I? Yeah, I needed that. I screwed that up. Not bad. Okay, cool. And then this also gets a tag right here at the, yeah, it goes right below the simple coverage recipe in the spec helper. So they will be the first two things in the file to go. And then last, you need to update your README to take the badge in. And they give you this recipe to create the badge. And it will... Okay, so it looks like the stock is, first of all, there's two places you need to put your username, so you can fill those out really quickly. And then the name of the repo, which I believe is underscore. Okay. So that's definitely it's just, that's the URL for clicking on the badge is gonna redirect you to your own, like it's gonna redirect you back to the main page of the repo. That's fine. But the badge itself I found, so the stock recipes like to have you go to your like github.io, but mine weren't making the badges there. They're making them in the actual app file. So if that's your case, you'll see it pop up here. It'll be like a little like SVG file. If that's the case, you just make sure like you're writing a relative path to that file, which is not hard to do. So with that done, I will run bundle install again and get that gem bundle. And if we run the RSpec, if we run this test suite now, it won't give the percentage of coverage at the end anymore. It's like the badge now, like it doesn't override the simple cov gem, but it like supersedes it. So we get this little printout. That's fun. But when that happened, we should have gotten this badge.svg file right here. And this gives us the path we need to put in the README. It should go right here. Oh, that was too far in. I need to do... I believe just that. That might work. We'll see. Oh, yeah, I could probably add the logs to get ignored. I don't know why I didn't do that. All right, I'll take care of that later. So we add gov badge to README, and actually we did a little bit more than that because okay. So with that done, we'll see if this works. I feel like I'm gonna have to change the path just once. And then I've got one other comment to make too on the badge. Since it's like supersedes the table, now if you go back to update that index.html in the coverage directory, it won't update. It's really weird. I haven't had time to play around with it, but basically that in the spec file, if you just gotta comment this out, like the simple cuff, like it doesn't break, but it doesn't run. It just kind of like gives its ground to Shield's badge gem, I guess. So the badge will update the percentage of coverage, but the actual simple cuff gem won't. Again, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it, but just commenting out the badge will let me automatically update the table on the index.html that automatically runs when you run RSpec. So it's kind of a weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that. If we scroll to my repo, we have our badge. So that worked. Yeah, the relative path worked fine. So, but again, I think that was a big takeaway. I think the badges documentation says to like it's going to get created in GitHub.io for your user, and maybe it is. I am not sure why it's not for mine. I think I screwed up my GitHub.io a while back, but in any case, it saves it like locally in the project here. So I just refer to it with a relative directory. But there you go. Okay, so that's if I run. Well, I won't make any changes, but again, if I run the index.html, it shows the test coverage, and again, I believe that while that badge is running, this won't update. So if I added tests and increased the percentage, it's like I did this in another one, it just stalled at like 94%. So again, I hope that helps. This is some quick tips. The badge gets created locally in the project, so you can just refer to it as a relative, and then if you're like updating the index.html and looking for updates in your table and nothing's happening, it's because for some reason the badge kind of interferes, and if you comment it out, it'll work fine. So, hope that helps.